All right, coming in live now, we have a Justice Dems congressional candidate. We have Jamaal Bowman, excuse me. Good morning, and thanks for being here with us. Good afternoon where you are, right? You're in New York?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, I'm glad to have you here. And you are a middle school principal, is that right?
Yes,
that's
correct.
Fantastic, and you're running for Congress. And I know you've been on TYT shows before, but you haven't been on the Damage Report. So I want you to just break down for TDR viewers, why are you running for Congress?
I've been in education for 20 years, and I've worked in historically disenfranchised communities. So children and families who suffer from poverty, lack of health care, from asthma, from obesity, from living in food deserts. So I got to the point when I just became very frustrated with no one discussing the plight of our most needy families and children. Last year in the Bronx, we had children being murdered in classrooms, children committing suicide, and there was no national urgency and national emergency around these issues. So I want to bring an educator's perspective, a father's perspective, a school principal's perspective to Congress and begin to change the conversation around our most vulnerable people in this country, which are our children.
And as far as changing the conversation and protecting children, why does Eliot Engel need to go?
Well, he's been in office for over 30 years. He only about 9% of the people vote in primaries, so that tells me he's not present, he's not engaged. He votes for policies that have led to the privatization of public schools. He supports Wall Street. He supports private prisons, the crime bill. He voted for the war in Iraq. He voted against the Iran deal in the beginning. So he's more focused on the wealthy and corporations, and he's not as focused on the people as he needs to be.
All right, let's talk about your policies. Let's talk about the platform you're running on, because I know criminal justice reform is important to you. So I have a two-parter. One, as a New Yorker, I wanted to know your thoughts on Tiffany Caban winning. And two, what does criminal justice reform mean to you specifically?
So quite honestly, for me, we need to redesign our prison system as a learning system. What that means is when someone makes a mistake and commits a crime and unfortunately has to be put into prison, that person needs to be restored. It needs to be a space for restorative justice. So whatever academic, social, or technical skills that person does not have, they should be able to acquire them while in prison before they come out so they can contribute to society. In addition to that, I'm against, I want to ban the box. So when people come out of prison and not criminalized again and not able to find a job. I want to get rid of cash bail because I don't think you should be in jail because of poverty. I want to end solitary confinement. I want to separate violent offenders from non-violent offenders. The whole concept of putting anyone in a cage dehumanizes them, and I want to get rid of that completely. I also want to legalize marijuana. I think it's been over-stigmatized and it's been over-targeting of the Black and brown community. I want to legalize it. I want to regulate it. I want to earn taxes from it. And I want to expunge the records of everyone that's been arrested for marijuana possession and then everyone who's in jail for marijuana possession, and reinvest those funds back into the communities as part of a reparations model.
So, hi, this is Brett Ehrlich. My question for you is, there's a lot of people out there who don't live in that constituency, but they feel like they want to help. They're Justice Democrat supporters. After hearing you, they might be motivated to get involved. What's the best way that they can help you accomplish this goal of winning this seat?
Thank you. Please go to the website, bowmanforcongress.com. Click the volunteer button, click the donate button. Every dollar helps. We did great out the gate. After our launch, we raised about $70,000 within 48 hours. So we've been doing very well, but please keep that going because that will help us to build out our team and begin door knocking and engage in the community, because that's our strategy. We're not gonna run TV ads. We're not gonna do those things. We're gonna go door to door, meeting the people in the community, learning from them and listening to their issues. So please go to the website, bowmanforcongress.com, click the donate button, click the volunteer button and help us out.
All right, and so I have to ask you about this because this is something that everyone is thinking about and they want to know, if you were a congressperson right now, would impeachment be a top priority?
It has to be. President Trump has misled the American people. He's lied to the American people. The Mueller report clearly outlines that. And an impeachment inquiry needs to be opened immediately. Democrats in Congress need to do their jobs. They represent the American people, and we have to hold the integrity of that seat to the highest standard. And because of what he has done and how he has misled all of us, an impeachment inquiry needs to be opened immediately.
And can we talk about Medicare for All? Because last night on the debate, there were 10 candidates, 10 presidential candidates, and only 2 were willing to say they would get rid of their private insurance for Medicare for All. What are your thoughts on that?
Healthcare is a human right. Everyone in this country should have health care, period, end of story. I'm for Medicare for all. I'm for single payer health care. It needs to happen. I couldn't believe only 2 people raised their hands. When you look at the VA hospital, when you look at Medicaid, when you look at Medicare, they all take care of our most vulnerable populations, which are the military, children, the poor and the elderly. And they're all very good. And they're all government run and government backed health insurance. So I support it 100%. And healthcare is a human right, just like housing is a human right, just like education is a human right, just like environmental justice is a human right, which is why we need to back the Green New Deal 100%. So I'm absolutely for Medicare for all, no question.
All right, Jamaal Bowman running for US Congress in New York's District 16. Thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.